the winter cote town in winter. In the small town of Maplewood, winters always came early. By late November, the sidewalks were already dusted with snow, and children's laughter echoed as they built snowmen in their yards. For most families, winter was magical, but for 12-year-old Emma Carter, it was something else entirely, a season of worry. Emma lived with her mom, Sarah, in a modest apartment above the laundromat. Sarah worked long shifts at the diner, doing everything she could to keep the lights on. But money was tight, so tight that Emma had learned not to ask for new things. She wore hand-me-downs from neighbors, shoes a size too big, and sweaters that had lost their shape years ago. This winter, the problem was her coat. Her old one was too small, the zipper broken, the sleeves barely reaching her wrists. Every morning, as she waited for the school bus in the icy wind, she pulled her arms into the coat like a turtle retreating into its shell. She tried to pretend it didn't bother her, but the truth was she was freezing, and some kids noticed. "Hey Carter," one boy teased, "your coat looks like it came from the dumpster." Others laughed. Emma bit her lip, pretending not to hear. But their words cut deep. A quiet act. One day after school, Emma stopped by the thrift store downtown. She walked slowly through the aisles, running her fingers over racks of winter jackets. There was one, a thick, navy blue coat with a fur-trimmed hood. It looked warm, almost new. She checked the tag. $18.99. Her heart sank. $18 might as well have been $100. She set it back gently, whispering to herself, maybe someday. The shop owner, Mrs. Johnson, noticed her lingering. "Cold out there, isn't it?" she said kindly. Emma nodded, embarrassed. "Just looking, okay?" Mrs. Johnson gave her a soft smile, but didn't push. Emma hurried out, hugging her too small coat tighter around her. The surprise, the next morning. Emma walked into her classroom. She saw something draped over her chair. A coat. Not just any coat, the navy blue one from the thrift store. Her heart stopped. She touched it, stunned. There was a note pinned to the pocket. "For you. Stay warm this winter. A friend." Emma's eyes blurred with tears. She looked around the classroom, but no one seemed to be watching her. She slipped into the coat. It was a perfect fit, soft and warm. Like a hug she hadn't realized she needed. For the first time in weeks, she smiled. Ripples of kindness word spread quickly. Some kids whispered, curious about who had given it. Others, the same ones who used to tease, looked guilty that day at lunch. A girl named Lucy sat beside Emma. "Hey, I like your coat," she said softly. Emma smiled. It was the first kind word Lucy had ever spoken to her. Later that week, Lucy showed up with an extra pair of mittens. "My grandma knits too many," she said casually, sliding them across the table. Emma accepted them with shining eyes. Then something unexpected happened. More kids started noticing ways they could help others. A boy gave away his spare hat to another student who didn't have one. A group organized a food drive for families struggling through the winter. The simple act of one anonymous gift had lit a spark in the whole. School. The truth revealed. Emma couldn't stop wondering who had given her the coat. Weeks passed before she found out. One snowy evening, Emma and her mom stopped by the diner after Sarah's shift. As Emma sat sipping hot cocoa, she overheard her mom talking quietly to Mrs. Johnson, the thrift store owner. "Thank you," her mom said, tears in her voice. "I don't know how to repay you for what you did for Emma. That coat meant more than you'll ever know." Emma's eyes widened. "Mrs. Johnson." Mrs. Johnson reached over and squeezed Sarah's hand. It wasn't about repayment. Sometimes the smallest kindness can mean the world. "That's enough for me." Emma's throat tightened. She wanted to run over and hug her, but instead she sat quietly, holding the moment in her heart. Full circle years later, Emma never forgot the winner of the coat. That one act of kindness had changed how she saw the world. When she grew up, she became a teacher in Maplewood. Every winter, she started a traditional box of warm coats, hats, and gloves in her classroom, free for any student who needed them. And every year, when a child slipped into a coat with relief on their face, Emma remembered that navy blue coat with the fur-trimmed hood. She remembered the warmth it gave her, not just against the cold, but against the loneliness of feeling forgotten. Because kindness, she learned, doesn't just warm the body, it warms the soul. Moral of the story: the winter coat reminds us that even the smallest acts of kindness can ripple outward, touching lives far beyond what we see. Sometimes, what seems ordinary to us, a coat, a pair of mittens, a kind word, can be life-changing for someone else. Kindness multiplies when shared. All it takes is one small act to start a chain reaction of love.